guys, this is a tutorial of a teepee I made for my dog. It stands a little shy of 3 feet tall and it's about 2 feet wide. The first thing I did was create templates. I formed an 18 by 33 inch sheet, and at the 9 inch center, drew lines to the bottom corners of the paper to form a triangle. I then drew lines 4 inches from the top and bottom of the sheet and cut out my pieces. I ended up with 3 triangles, 2 halves and a full. Next, I cut the 4-inch tips of each one. I also made a strip that's 1 3/4 of an inch by 29 inches and folded the ends at 3 inches. And these were the templates I used for my teepee. I used a twin-size bedsheet for my fabric. I turned it inside out and folded the fabric in half, then laid out my templates. First, I traced the half triangle with the straight edge facing out, followed by the strip once. My strip was a little short, so I kept having to align it to the ends of the triangle. Then I traced the full triangle followed by the strip. I did this 4 times. I ended it by tracing the other half triangle with a straight edge facing out. I went over each strip and traced along the 3-inch folds at the top and bottom of the triangle. This is the line I followed when sewing. I began tracing my pattern on carpet but noticed the pieces kept moving, so I had to move to a flat surface, which is why there are so many different lines. On a smooth surface, pin the 2 layers of fabric together. I used a lot of pins so I wouldn't get confused with the lines. I began sewing and removed pins as I went along. I trimmed any excess fabric and snipped all inner corners so the fabric wouldn't bunch when I turned it inside out. The 4-inch opening I left should have been 6 because I struggled a little turning it inside out. Next, I folded, drew a straight line, and pinned along each of the 5 strips to sew. I sewed the top pieces together and decided to leave the bottom portion open. Then I needed to sew the opening and top ends together. Don't mind the little tab, I decided not to use it. I ended up sewing 6 inches from the top instead of 4. I marked each dowel at 33 inches, or 3 inches from the top. Next, I drilled them with a hole large enough to fit the string I'm using. I added a crisscross pattern at the top of the opening. Then I inserted each dowel into the strips with the holes at the top end. I strung my dowels and tied a loose knot to make sure the teepee could open first, then tightened it afterwards. I wrapped the dowels a few times and knotted it again. And there you have it, your very own teepee. It's also collapsible so you can store it anywhere, and the fabric slides out easily for washing. Hope you enjoy!